Ryan Cooper, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Thank you for dropping by.
No worries. It's a pleasure.
Now, I have known of you for a very long time. Were you in the very first 48 Hours?
No, we didn't take part in 48 Hours till 2007. That was
Really?
our first one. Yeah, I think so. It'd been going a few years before we showed up.
Where were the finals that year? Was that the one in the Indian Hall?
No, that was the Civic in the finals.
Oh, really?
I remember because we got an award
Yeah, good. Nice.
in
nice.
the Civic.
Good.
Felt pretty good.
I think the following year was in that, the I can't remember the name
Crystal
of it.
Palace?
Crystal Palace, that's
Yes.
the one. And you guys did some of the animation for the actual show itself.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we didn't take part in the competition, but Ant asked us to
Yeah.
help kind of host it. So that was pretty cool. So our characters from the winning film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Ant? Speaking of Ant.
I just saw him yesterday.
Oh, he's here in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, he's around. He's
He's doing his horror thing, isn't he?
he is. Yeah. He's definitely got his name on a few films now, which is awesome.
Yeah, I think there was always this sort of thing.
He needs his name on a Mukpuddy film.
He does need his name on a Mukpuddy film. That would be cool.
Produce it, Ant.
So Mukpuddy, how long have you guys been going for? Was it you didn't start Mukpuddy for 48 Hours, did you? You guys
No.
actually previously
No,
done?
we started Mukpuddy in 2002. It was just me, Tim Evans, and Alex Layden. So it was just the three of us, straight out off the back of our animation course. We'd all done three to 4 years.
Yeah.
Had no interest in working for anyone else. Had our own ideas. So we're like, let's give this a crack. So Tim's parents said we could use their basement.
Yeah.
We just set up around one computer in a basement, and then we kept chipping away until the people at What Now, Whiteback,
Yeah.
they
Jason Gunn's outfit.
yeah,
I was about to say James Gunn. Jason Gunn's outfit.
Janine and Jason, yes. They listened to a couple of our pitches and said they loved them.
Yep.
And then that was it. That was our kind of bread and butter for a while, and we cut our teeth on making short form stuff for What Now really quickly. And we're like, you know what? I'm pretty sure we could do this in the 48 hours. Like, we were making a 5-minute cartoon a week, start to finish, just a little small group of us. Why couldn't we give 48 hours a go? And we noticed that no animated film had kind of succeeded or been completed. So, yeah, we did it and did pretty well.
What was it like trying to condense a week's worth of work into two days, effectively?
It wasn't as tricky as I expected, because everything had been so fast in those weeks leading up. We were writing a script on a Monday, we were animating it, delivering it on the Friday. It was playing that Sunday.
Yeah.
It was awful. So we were doing all kinds of hours, 2 a.m. every night, 3 a.m. So yeah, for 48 hours, it was we were pretty good at that point at just moving fast.
Yeah.
Just not second guessing ourselves, just getting it out the door.
Yeah.
So there was none of that on our first 48-hour film, Camp Fair. And yeah, it was, I think that Friday night we had the script locked down, we had the rough storyboards sorted, put to an animatic, which I had done all temp voices for. So that Friday night before we went home for a sleep, it was like, well, the film works. All we have to do is animate it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's kind of the joy of animation in the 48 hours is you can kind of see if your film's working.
Yeah.
Pretty early in the production, but yeah, it was kind of a breeze that year. It was the following years that was
Yeah.
we got too ambitious.
I remember when you guys actually first burst onto the scene. I don't remember what year. I mean, I don't remember exactly the year, but people were saying, "Oh yeah, they've done an animated one." We all rolled our eyes. It was all like, whatever.
We felt it.
It was like 1 year, one team shot on film, 35mm film, and the same thing. I was like, fuck off, what pretentious knobs. But the animation thing, it was like, whatever. And then I remember watching it. I can't remember exactly, but I remember watching the animation and thinking, quality's good.
Yeah.
And then the story was good. And then it was like, oh, shit. Okay, fine, whatever. And you guys just sort of went up from there. We were saying before that.
Yeah, that was kind of a nice little boost in our career. We'd kind of just been chipping away at making this stuff for What Now. Then the 48-hour film kind of just other filmmakers sort of noticed then.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, who are you? And then 2020, we're like, hey, we could do a story on you guys. And so the ball really kind of started rolling then. So that was so that was 2007. And yeah, so it kind of just, it was a very slow roll, but kind of just kept rolling. And the projects always got a little bit bigger after that. And we took a few years off, 48 hours. It was that whole thing of like, oh, can we do it again? Can we, you know?
Yeah.
And then it was a few years later that we were like, you know what? Let's give this another crack. And we did well again.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if we did it again straight after, but we always left a little gap.
Yep.
I think it was the awards part of it always put us off. It's because we loved what we made, and then all of a sudden you become really worried about where you place and whether you get an award. Yeah, I don't know. And I'm not big on accolades, but it's like when it's presented to you, like you're like, oh, maybe I care a bit.
Yeah.
But
I love accolades.
I won't turn them down.
I'll take an award if it's there. Oh, you've left an award on the table. I'll take that. Our first year we did quite well. We got into the final. This is back in 2003. Yeah, I think we got into the final and we thought to ourselves, "This is easy," and that was the worst thing you could have done because we didn't win or anything. We just got into the final and we placed well. And I was like, "Oh, this is easy." So the following year, we suddenly have all these people wanting to come and join us. And next thing you know, we went from a team of 10 to a team of 25 to 30, I don't know. And then it was just a clusterfuck. So many people wanting to have an opinion, wanting to get involved. We made something, we were happy-ish with it, but and the production quality was good, but the story just didn't fit because you just had too many people trying to throw the 50 cents in. But you know what it's all about. It's like you just keep it small.
100%, and it's about working with people that you trust and trusting them to be good at what they do. Yeah, I think that's the key, and that was always kind of the key for Mukpuddy. Was the three of us, we each had our strengths, and we let each other be good at that. You know, the guys never said, "Oh, why don't I get to do voices or write?" And then Alex's his character design kind of it became the Mukpuddy look, and we were like, "That's it. Yeah, that's your." Area of expertise and so I'm big on that. I'm big on working with people who are good at what they do and just let them be good.
It's interesting what you say about the look, the animation look. Like you think of The Simpsons, Seth MacFarlane's a lot. Yeah, all the animation has a certain look and a certain style, and it doesn't change. No, is that important? What I mean by that is that because you're building. Is that important?
It's not a conscious effort, I don't think. No, that wasn't. I think over time it has we have found our groove and we've stuck there, but that was never the intention. It's like we just need it to look like a Mukpuddy thing. It was more because we always thought we were changing it up. Yeah. Oh, let's try it like this, or let's try this sort of style. But everyone would go, I can tell that's Mukpuddy. Yeah. I'm like, oh, how? Yeah. We tried to make that look really different from that. You know, we made an AutoZam video that was completely different to anything we'd made before. It was dark and it was violent and bloody and gory, and people were like, oh, I think I saw a music video you made. It's like, what?
Yeah.
So
we were branching out totally.
So there's more than just. I think it's more than just visual style in there that I think people are recognizing as well. Yeah. I think there might be a certain timing or a certain. I don't know. I guess filmmakers use different actors, and you can tell if it's a certain filmmaker. So,
how big's the Mukpuddy team now?
Now
you've expanded quite a bit in the last.
Yeah, it was
12
originally
months.
3 people. Yeah, and then in 2015 we expanded to 15 people for our show, The Barefoot Bandits. And then the start of this year we expanded to 52. I believe we're 52 people now.
Whoa!
So yeah.
Human resources. Whoa. That must suck. That's a new level.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Again, we've hired people that are good. Yeah. And we don't micromanage. We let them be good. Yeah. And there's the problems kind of work themselves out that way. Every now and then we have to step in and make sure
quality
that works.
Control.
Make sure that exactly. Yep. Just it's still got Mukpuddy attached to it, and we're very much directing, writing, overseeing everything. But at the same time, I want people to have ownership over what they're working on. Yeah. It's like, I don't want you to feel like you're a cog in a machine. Yeah. I want you to feel like you're contributing, and you can watch this thing play on TV and go, I added that little moment in. That little gag. And sometimes that's great. That's great for us. We we like to do that at every stage. I'll write the script, then I'll get an actor in, like someone like you, and then I want to see where we can push it and ad lib and add those extra elements, or just a performance that I didn't expect.
Yeah.
Because then that's an extra level of funny. And then it goes to the storyboarders, and they might add that extra element, a little visual flair. Then I'm like, that's hilarious. And then it goes to the animator, and they might do something on top of that. So, you're kind of constantly adding this level of polish and talent at each stage. So by the end, this finished product is perfect. It's, well, I wouldn't say perfect, but it's amazing.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. It's hard to say perfect because I find it hard to look back. I don't know if you find this with anything you've been in or voiced. It's so hard to look back and you go, oh God, oh God. And I think that's good. I think if you ever look back and go, oh shit, I'm awesome, I nailed that. I think you kind of, it's a level of complacency that's going to...
I think I could probably voice stuff. I could probably look back, say 5 years ago at some things and think, yeah, nailed that. That was good. But if I go back further than that, I'm just like, oh, no.
There's things that we have on our... there's a point where I can't go look back. Our first 48-hour film, we still get complimented on it, but I'm like, Jesus. It's awful to look at. It's awful to... But, I can see what people like. But all I saw was something that could be improved upon.
Yeah.
And I do that with every project. Yeah. I'm like, cool, we finished that. I'm really proud of it.
Yep.
But I would have done that differently. I would have done that. And that transfers onto the next project. And so you just get incrementally better. And I can look back fondly on some things. We have some things that I've just rewatched recently that made me laugh. I'm like, I wrote that. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So
I've done that.
Sitting alone in my office laughing at my own jokes.
Well, someone has to. So what were the influences for you? Why did you get into animation anyway?
From a super young age, I'd say, as cheesy as it sounds, 5 years old, I knew I wanted to make that thing I was watching.
Yep.
So I'd watch, Disney movies or Hanna-Barbera, watch the Flintstones or the Jetsons and go, I can see how they did it. Like I could see how it worked, and I wanted to do that. So I could always draw, so I just keep drawing and drawing. And people are forever saying, "Oh, you're a good drawer." You don't ever think that you can eventually turn that into something.
Yeah.
And I always said I wanted to do something creative, and it wasn't until I got into high school when it seemed like the skills I had couldn't really be applied anywhere here. My mind was starting to wander into weird places. I thought I wanted to be a cop at one point. Until I heard there was an animation school. And I was like, a what? So and it was run by an ex-Disney animator, one of the old...
What was the school?
At the time, it was called Freelance Art School.
Right.
It changed to Freelance Animation, and now it's called Animation College.
Right, okay.
So lots of their students work for us now. But so in saying that I loved animation, I just love filmmaking. I love film. I think it's, to just choose that one medium is kind of weird. But something about the art form was amazing to me.
I heard recently, I think Brad Bird says that animation is not a genre.
No, that frustrates the shit out of us.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. It's like, well, animation can be horror. It can be, and that's what back to the 48 hours. That's what we loved. We loved that we were doing animation and we were being handed a genre that was unexpected. 1 year we got romantic comedy and we were like, oh shit, what the hell do we do now? And it was the drive back to the studio where we suddenly realized that we knew all the tropes and the beats of a romantic comedy. And it's like, there we go. We know how these work. Yeah. How do we do something unexpected with that?
Yeah. I think that's always the first reaction for a team of guys.
Yeah.
You get romantic comedy.
Yeah.
Create musical? Yeah. Musical would be good. Yeah, I know what you mean.
But then you start kind of looking at what's considered romantic comedy. You're like, there's some pretty good ones. I do enjoy it. But I don't know where I was going with that.
Somewhere.
Oh no,
we're talking about how you're influenced more by filmmaking rather than just strict animation.
And that was a big thing when I met the two other guys, Tim and Alex. our inspiration and our influences weren't necessarily animation. You know, it was Spielberg and it was Jim Henson. Jim Henson was the big binding influence for the three of us. It was like what he was doing, you know, making these things that were universal with universal themes and had heart and meaning and not necessarily. I didn't necessarily see that as a kid. Yeah. But as you get older, you're like, oh, wow, you can see what he's doing with the Fraggles. And you can see what he's, you know, there's something deeper there. And the three of us just shared that love. So, you know, and then we've got, like, obviously Disney was a massive influence and Hanna-Barbera was a massive influence. Yep. Especially in early days of Mukpuddy, because it was like they were doing things very limited. Yeah. Reusing animation, you know, just simple.
The same backgrounds.
Yeah.
Love it.
You know, and it was like, well, but it was strong on comedy. It was strong on vocal performance and just sound in general. And so that was always a big thing for us. It can sound good and it can visually, character design wise, can look good. Yep. The animation, you know, was limited, but that's something that has got better as we've progressed. Yeah.
Jim Henson going was a big thing. I remember when he died in like 91.
Yeah.
And he went, and I was like 11, 10, I think, maybe young, about 10. And I was heartbroken. I was really taken aback by that. Yeah. That was one of the first times a celebrity had passed. Yeah. And I had gone, holy shit, absolutely, this is awful. Because Labyrinth was the first film I ever saw in the movie theater.
Well, we would have grown up with the same sort of stuff playing on TV, the making of the Labyrinth, and all those big, you know, Storyteller, where Jim Henson was always on screen, and it's kind of like a first hero for me. Yeah. So that was also the first loss of a hero.
And he has that semi-Kermit voice, you know. Hi, welcome to the show. Yeah, he was brilliant. He was good. What was the other things that he did? Oh, there was Dark Crystal. It's funny because you watch those things as a kid, and you're just watching the Muppets, and you're just having a good time, and it's funny things, and we saw the physical comedy and all that sort of thing. Yeah, it's not until you're older and you buy it on Blu-ray for nostalgic purposes, and you think, oh, I'll pop this on, and you watch it. Shit, this speaks to, especially Labyrinth was a film that speaks to teenage. Adolescence and all that sort of stuff. You never realize it when you're a kid, but you watch it now as an adult, and it's like, this is edgy.
Yeah, same as the Dark Crystal. You watch it now, and it's like, it's slow. Yeah, it's dark. It's really dark. But as a kid, you got the same level of entertainment out of it. Yeah, it's just fascinating, and they'd be nervous to make something like that now. Yeah, you know what I mean, like. Okay, this is going to be really slow. It's going to be for family. It's going to be dark. It's going to be about sucking the essence out of these little innocent creatures. Yeah. Studios would just go,
nah, it's not going to happen. Although they're doing the Dark Crystal series on Netflix.
They are. But the thing with stuff like that is
it's got a name.
They're very much making it for 38-year-olds.
Sad 38-year-olds.
Yeah.
No, not sad. I think it's going to be really good. I'm looking forward to it, actually.
Yeah, it's very surreal that they're even touching it again.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I think it's really good. Speaking on that, though, we talk about the themes that you could get away with in the 80s, and even the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. But now things are getting very, very politically correct, and the world seems to need a hug at the moment, and everything's sort of heading in an odd direction. How does that affect your writing process and the animation process? Because even in the period, like, say, from 2007 till now, massive change.
Oh, completely. With the Barefoot Bandits that we made for TV2, a big part of our pitch was to return back to that stuff of the 80s where the threat was real. You know, you look at Goonies, those kids are running away from criminals with guns and they're shooting at the kids. They're trying to kill them. Yeah. And that was part of our pitch. It was like, we need to return to that sense of danger and kids in actual peril and how they... So they liked that, which surprised us because we were like, oh, this is, it's 2014, 15. Are we going to get this through? But yeah, there's been, I don't know, we've kind of flown under the radar with a lot of that stuff. I don't think we've done anything that's ever offended anybody.
Well, then you haven't made good comedy, my friend.
No, I don't think so. But yeah, it is tricky. Obviously, a big one is like accents and stuff, things you can do and things you can do, things you can't. Like if obviously the stuff going on with Apu in The Simpsons. At the moment. Like it's a tough one because I completely understand. It's like, yeah. But also, like you look at early days Mukpuddy, it's just the three of us. I did every voice.
Yeah.
All I was doing was looking for interesting voices. I wasn't looking to mock somebody's accent. I wasn't looking to make fun of them, but I would do them. So I'm guilty of doing, accents I probably shouldn't now.
No, but
it wouldn't come from a place of, no malicious intent.
No, I don't think anyone really ever had. You can tell when someone has malicious intent when they're doing something like that, and those are the ones that should be picked on or picked up on.
Yeah.
Apu was it's just pretend. It's just Hank Azaria pretending to be something. Everyone loved it. Indians loved it. I saw some articles on CNN and that sort of stuff. They all loved it, but then suddenly there's just a sensitive area now.
Because I found it interesting, the part of that it was like it was making fun of that religion on The Simpsons.
Yep.
That makes fun of every religion. Like it was you're either doing it to everyone or you can't do anyone, and that was The Simpsons. They poke fun at everyone.
Yep.
Religions, like, no one gets it more from The Simpsons than Catholicism and Christianity.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. The family is this church-going family.
Was it Father Mulcahy? What's the father?
Oh, yeah. What is his name?
What's his name?
I haven't watched Simpsons in years, to be honest.
Yeah, neither have I. I went to Family Guy and never came back. I was like, I'm gone. I've had enough Simpsons. But you're absolutely right. It was the same with Monty Python back in the day.
Yeah.
But back then, people used to actually complain about it, and they said, "Oh, you guys are, you're taking the piss out of Catholicism, Christianity, and all that." And they're like, "No, we're taking the piss out of everything." And that's what humor is. That's what comedy should be.
Absolutely.
You're treading a fine line of offense, but you just don't quite get there. Is a
no. And again, we come back to intent.
Yeah.
I think intent is a big thing that we just can't remove that from the equation.
No,
because that means everybody's exactly the same, and everybody's mean. I was like, well, it's not.
No,
it's not.
Yeah.
I get it. I absolutely get it. And with our new show, I'm in a position to spend a bit of time thinking about who to cast and getting the right voices and getting the right people with the right accent to do certain things. Because I don't have to do it all myself. And that's the freedom I've got. And part of me's gone, yeah, that's weird that I did that. I can see it. I can see the problem.
Yeah.
And again, my defensive-ness is like, well, I didn't mean anything by it. I wasn't trying to make fun of you. I just thought that was a cool voice. I spent my life doing voices, mimicking my nana. I got a family that comes from Scotland all through England, different accents, and I just spent my childhood mimicking. So that's all I that's how I saw it. I was like, well,
we're parrots. It's what it is. Some people,
right?
You and me, you hear it and you just think, oh yeah, and you just sort of listen to it, and it's just a thing. You don't.
And sometimes you meet a person and it's more there. As an example, I was on a trip to the States. We were pitching to Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon and all that. So we were over there for a few weeks, and we stopped at a shoe store, and it was enormous. The shoe store was like, it was very American, enormous. And
expecting Al Bundy to walk out. Yeah.
And there's a security guard in there walking around with a gun on his hip in a shoe store. And we were so like blown away by the ridiculous size of the shoe store that we took out our camera and took a photo. And as quick as we took that photo, he was in front of us and he was like, please, no photos. And we were like, oh, shit, sorry. But as we left that store, the whole way back to the hotel, I turned him into a character.
Yeah,
he was just like this failed security guard who was like, please, no photos. So Reebok and Nike, very, very, and I was doing this kind of, I guess what you call a Hispanic sort of accent.
Yeah,
but not because he was, but it's because a character came out of him.
Yeah,
and that's So I did that character, and he ended up in a show that we made.
That's brilliant.
I don't know. So that's
Yeah, it's a funny time. It's a funny time. I think. There is no ill intent when you do those sorts of things, and it's just if anything, it's like, for example, I got picked up by an Uber driver not long ago, right? And we're driving along, and he's telling the story. We're talking about the traffic, and he's telling me about the traffic in Delhi.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, this is nothing. This is in Delhi we do things. We have 3 lanes. We drive 5 lanes across, and also he's going full on.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious, the story that he was telling me.
Yeah.
And then whenever I tell that story, if I do it with my accent, it's not funny.
It loses it. Yeah.
It loses it completely. So you have to sort of do it. And there's obviously no ill intent. It's just, it's part of the story. It's part of the storytelling.
Mimicking a moment. You're just,
Yeah. And you get some people that are sensitive to that sort of thing now. And I think they're almost, I'm generalizing here, but some people definitely want to be offended by that sort of thing.
I think so. And I think the sad thing is kind of that most people are good.
Yeah.
I think most people are good, and most people understand that other people are good too. And you've just got groups that want to, I don't know. I'm big on just, if you're a creative person, and if you happen to be in a marginalized group or a smaller group, make good stuff. And we're living in a time now with the internet that you see the awesome creation of like comics that are specifically for a certain group, LGBT comics and that, and they're getting massive following. And the best thing we can do is as different groups is make good art. And then if you're not in a creative type, buy into that good art.
Yes.
And we're supporting each other, and the rest, the shitheads will just hopefully fade away.
Yeah.
We are living in somewhat of a time where the shitheads have been given a bit of a permission to be a little louder than
the keyboard
we
warriors.
Would like.
Yeah. Sitting behind a keyboard, I can say whatever I want to say, and I don't.
And I don't know. It's I tried to spend a bit of time, especially after Trump got in, and it felt like, oh god, everything's gone a bit nuts, and the nasty people are kind of rising up, and then you get these extremes on the right and the extremes on the left, and they're both yelling, and all this group in the middle are going, wait, are we not friends? It's a little bit scary.
That's the interesting part to me. I'm fascinated by the whole thing. When Trump got in, I was addicted to watching Fox and CNN and all that sort of stuff, because you got to get the comparisons, right? Because Fox especially is ridiculous. CNN, I didn't realize how ridiculous CNN was, and then it's like, actually. And then when Trump got in, I thought it was the second coming of the devil, and it was awful. And then I started watching the left behave, and I'm thinking, I don't want to be a part of that. These people are just as nasty as these people, and it's just weird. And you're right, a lot of us are in the middle now, and we've been forced into the middle.
That's right, and I think those in the middle don't realize the power they wield if they kind of work together. Because the extremes on the outer are just they are. It's a bit scary, because I'm like I consider myself a lefty if I had to choose. But then I do, like you say, you see them eating themselves alive, and and having a great cause, and then overshooting the runway and ruining it. It's like, oh god, people might have been listening for a moment, and now you've lost them. And unfortunately, it's that people not only revert back, but they stand their ground 10 times as hard. So
that's the thing. It's like, if you start calling someone an idiot, they're gonna get even further in the ground. And the left seems to be really good at that right now, calling everyone idiots. Not everyone, but and the right, the hard right, if these people own guns, they're going to go digging in hard into the ground. They're not going anywhere.
Right,
But the rest of us in the middle, it's just, we just want to have a conversation.
And that's what social media doesn't provide. No. It doesn't provide that.
It provides a soapbox to throw, but not listen.
That's right. And the few times I've had conversations on Facebook where I've tried to be as amicable and as level-headed, and you start seeing people pop in and go, wow, this is really cool. You guys are I've got a super right-wing friend in America. We've had full-on conversations because we just we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. But we both hear each other, and we both present our arguments. Sometimes I've gone, you make sense, and he said the same to me. And then it's so foreign. People go, holy shit, what just happened here? It's like, it makes you realize how you don't see it that often, that people just listen. So, which is why things like this, podcasts, are great. Because
this is why I want. This is one of the reasons I want to do this. For, that reason. Yeah, you can say whatever you want and just talk, just discuss. There's no sound bites. This is not edited. It's all just let it flow. And
well, I think a couple of years ago, I kind of swore off just sharing shit about politics on Facebook. I just found it went nowhere. I didn't know who I was sharing it to.
Yeah.
I was just like this constant, like every time I was outraged, look at this.
Yeah.
It's like no one would ever respond or like, or like I wasn't there was no reward at the end of it other than me just shouting shit into the
ether.
Yeah. It's like, and I just realized this is possibly making people hate me.
Yeah.
And I'm not a horrible I'm not this person in real life. I'm not angry. I'm the opposite. I'm a happy person most of the time. So yeah, from the outside, it's like, and then if someone said to me, "Well, you share a lot of political shit," and that was the day I was like, "Ah, shit, man, I make films and I make cartoons and I make art and that's what that's what I care about. I should be just sharing that shit and just I
used to be similar. I used to like go on these rants about stupid shit like 5 or 6 years ago. I don't know why. It wasn't necessarily left or right or anything like that. It was just something that I believed in. Yeah. And then, no one really responds. No one cares. No. And then when I put something up, like a video or something along those lines, or, several months later, get a lot of likes and a lot of people looking at it and they're like, oh, I saw what you did on there and da-da-da-da. And then you realize that, holy shit, a lot of people saw that good thing I did. Yeah. All those people saw the shit thing that I was going on about and looked like a knob end. Yeah. And then you start to realize. So, you've got to... What I try to do now, I keep out of the political stuff online especially, but when I see something that I'm really just like, think about it, I try to be, think about it. You might want to try, change your language.
Absolutely. I think I completely agree. In the last couple of years, I've sort of, the very few times I've had a bit of a, okay, I don't like this. Yeah. I'm going to say something about it, but I try to say it in a, a sensible, less knee-jerk sounding way.
So how does that affect your writing and that sort of stuff? I mean, you said before that you're slightly lefty. That's cool. And you've got people who are slightly righty and all that sort of stuff. I'm not saying the politics comes into the writing of the animation, but do you have to really consider all that sort of stuff?
I don't know. I guess
put it this way.
Actively.
Not actively. No.
We've always wanted to be...
Well, have you had anyone from the top say... TVNZ or something like that, for example, see something you've written and come back to you and say, you might want to reconsider this for A, political reason, B, political reason?
Funnily enough, no, not really. There was a joke in our latest show that had nothing to do with politics. Yeah, it was a lipstick on a pig joke. And we didn't even think about it. And the note came back. It was just like, after what's happened and with the current government and comments it made, we really can't. I was like, oop, that wasn't making fun of that at all. But but no. And we've always, I don't know, we've always kind of done the things that are being asked of people now. We've always tried to be super inclusive and create characters, strong female characters in our shows, and
about time.
Yeah. Okay. But I find that interesting. I find with the Barefoot Bandits, we have 3 kids, Riley, Tane, and Fridge, voiced by Laura Daniel, Tammy Davis, and Josh Thompson. We were like, I want to make the girl character as cool as the boy characters, because I notice it when I watch cartoons. It's like, okay, that the girl is like, oh, we shouldn't be doing this. It's like, that's gotta suck. I've got a daughter. I don't want her watching that show and thinking she has to be the level-headed one in that moment. It's I want her to have fun. I want to see her, so we were like, well, this character should be the smartest character of the 3. Yeah. But given to fun, because that's fun, you know. Yeah. But I do like making our stuff inclusive and progressive, I guess. Yeah. But in saying that, it's not something we're actively seeking. It's not like we sit down with boxes we need to tick, because I don't like that. I find that just hinders creativity. Yeah. Naturally, it seems to come out. and
Yep.
which is good, I guess.
That means you're a good person.
I hope so. I hope so. You know, sometimes we've missed the mark and gone, oh
Yep.
shit, this is nothing but dudes in this thing I've written.
Yeah.
And you know, it might just come from me being a guy.
Yeah.
Funnily enough.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But in saying it, there's nothing wrong with that either.
absolutely not.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely not.
I think, I think there's a push to go too far in certain directions and all that sort of stuff. And it's like, well, if it's not coming naturally, don't force it. You know what I mean?
I'm not a big fan of forcing anything.
No.
Like,
Ghostbusters,
and that's
the
why
latest
I
one.
always found pitching in New Zealand hard.
Yeah.
Because my ideas, or me and the guys, our ideas didn't necessarily fit in with what New Zealand was supposed to be producing.
Yeah.
And that's why for years we never did.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we started in 2002, but, you know, we were making stuff for What Now, but they weren't very Kiwi, apart from being voiced by Kiwis. They were very odd concepts.
Yeah.
That just because they were within another show, we seemed to go under the radar and it was fine. But as we never had that Kiwi show we wanted to make until the Barefoot Bandits.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh no, this is cool.
Yeah.
There's something cool here, like a Kiwi version of the Goonies on a on this little island off the bottom of New Zealand that no one knows about, and it's like a microcosm of everything in New Zealand. We started finding the fun in a Kiwi concept.
Yeah.
That wasn't us going, and it's got this, and we're doing, you know, and it's and then from that we started casting, and it was like, oh, I would get, you know, start listening to the interesting Kiwi voices, and we really found our passion for making a Kiwi thing. Yeah. And it came naturally. It wasn't forced. Yeah. And I hope the result doesn't feel forced either, you know.
What do you think makes comedy, especially? I think, because New Zealanders, we really do glum well. Yeah. We always have done. But when it comes to comedy, what do you think makes good Kiwi comedy? What do we laugh at that we should laugh at?
What do we laugh at?
For example,
good question.
Like Australia has had a concept of their humour for years, since the 70s, you know what I mean? They nailed it. You got movies like The Castle, movies like The Dish, even, I was going to say Mad Max in some ways, but it's a very different kind of humour. But they've seems to have found these nuances. Yes. You know what I mean? And it's taken a while for us to do that. I feel watching New Zealand comedies now that we have found it.
Yeah, because I think we've found that our smallness is funny. Our smaller achievements are funny. The things we hold up to be massive that aren't. I think we've found that's kind of funny, and I like that.
There's kind of innocence to us.
Yeah, I think before that we were trying to pretend that we could just make anything, and these would make very art housey films. And, oh, you wouldn't know where it came from. It's like, no. We're embracing that we're, you know, that's what's funny about what we do in the shadows. It's vampires in Wellington. You know, that's funny, small, that's good, and we can make fun of that, and we can, you know, we've got a couple of concepts floating around that make fun of New Zealand a lot. Yeah, it's a show about an English family coming here, and you know, just I think we Kiwis are good at screwing with people who come to the country, you know, with our cultures in general of, like, you know, the way we do things, and I think that's what I find funny. I think when I first watched Boy, that was when I felt, I think we've found it. Yeah, Taika had found it anyway. Yeah. Was Flight of the Conchords before Boy or after Boy, or around the same time? I think just after. I think
just after, because when I saw Boy, because I'm from Pukekohe, not even Pukekohe, like small town in between Tuakau and Puke, farming stock, you know. Yeah. And I had friends identical to that. Yeah. When I went to school, there was me, there was my mate who was obsessed with Michael Jackson. Yeah. There was his little brother who was just a little bit behind, not slow, but just didn't quite keep up with us because he was younger. Yeah. And it was like I was watching Boy, and it was, oh man, it hit me. Yeah. I was so hit. Too. And the humor in it, and the way and the tragedy as well. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because being all those people I was describing, where they're all Māori. Yeah. And you know, I saw the realism, because we were all very tight with the families and all that sort of stuff. And he just nailed it. And it was like, there was something, I thought then and there, I thought, whoa, there's something, he's found something.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, I saw it in Eagle versus Shark. Yeah. And then I saw it more in Boy. And then I related to Boy. Yeah. And that was surprised. It was like, holy shit, this is just, it's a life far removed from mine, but at the same time,
Yeah.
I can completely see myself in that kid, and the three of us at Mukpuddy at the time were all the same. It was like, it was just an 80s kid, and I was an 80s kid.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to see how much we shared with this kid.
Yeah.
You wouldn't imagine,
And it was a well-made film too. It was just the art department and stuff. Little things like the popsicle poster in the background and Moldy Smurf and all that. Oh, it's cracking up all the way through.
Yeah, it was great. And as a result, because it's so confident in what it is, it travels well.
Yes.
We for a few years we gave that DVD to friends who visited from the US.
Yeah.
They'd come over from Nickelodeon or wherever, and they'd say, "Is there anything we should watch?" And we'd say, "Take Boy, watch it." And all of them would come back and say, some of it went over our heads, but the majority of it, we relate to as well. Yeah. And it's just funny.
And it was
funny
nice
funny.
And it was nice to give people something like Boy instead of Once Were Warriors to try and relate to. Kind of.
Don't come back.
You'll be back. Kids.
Yes.
Are you proud of what you're making for your kids?
Yes.
Yep.
I am.
Yep.
That's a big box tick.
Yep.
I still, first and foremost, I'm making stuff for myself.
Yep.
But then it's nice that I'm making stuff that they love.
Yeah.
They're in it. They're in the stuff I make. I get them really involved. They're really interested in the process. They're currently 8 and almost 11.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm giving them, well, my kids and other kids as well. We've taken the Barefoot Bandits to schools around Auckland, mainly South Auckland, and just we want to see their response. And the big response is, the kids just love hearing and seeing kids that look like them.
Yeah.
In something that can stand alongside.
Yeah.
Disney or Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Shows, and that was our big goal. It was like, kids here deserved something of that quality. Yeah. That sounds and looks like them.
Yes.
That just because it's made here doesn't mean the quality should suffer in any way. Again, back to Taika, making stuff that's just stands alongside anybody else's. Yeah. But it's got a New Zealand flavour, and
that's awesome. There's always I've noticed that when Moana came out, there was controversy behind the making of that because certain Pacific Islands wanted this in it, and some cultures wanted that in it, and that. Yeah, at the end of the day, you've got one movie representing 25 different cultures. Yeah. I plucked that number out of my butt, I'm just saying. Anyway, a lot of different cultures. But also, not only that, you've got a lot of Kiwis. My mum's Samoan, so it's like you've got a lot of half-castes who eagerly sort of like, oh, what are we going to do with this? And there's a lot of people umming and ahhing, what are you going to do? And everyone's just trying to get on some sort of bandwagon. And then the movie came out. Yeah. And I wasn't sure how it was going to be received because, it's no Frozen. Yeah. And what I mean by that, it's culturally very different from Frozen.
Yes.
And
there's an importance there.
Yeah. But the impact that had on Polynesian culture here, I saw it recently. I was filming at a high school or intermediate school. No, it was intermediate school. Yeah. Predominantly Polynesians down in Manukau. And they were singing the songs for no reason whatsoever. Yeah. The kids are just hanging out in the yard singing the Moana songs. I didn't know what it was. Someone told me. I was like, oh yeah, cool. But there was something cool about that. Like throughout, you talked before about New Zealand comedies, New Zealand movies trying to be something else and then trying to put New Zealand accent on it. And this wasn't like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? This was genuine. This was... Oh, yeah. It's phenomenal.
It's that culture with a massive budget produced by that studio that makes all the stuff kids love. Yeah. All of a sudden they're making something that is hugely important to one group. Yeah. And that's amazing. Yeah. I still live in South Auckland, and when we took my kids to see it, and me and my wife and my kids, and I was in a theater with mostly Polynesian audience. Yeah. And the reaction was so cool. It was almost as I enjoyed the audience reaction as much as I enjoyed the film. Yeah. And then I started thinking, oh, am I being a weird white guy? Like, oh, Good for you. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
But I was
Yeah.
like, this is really cool, and it made me realize what was cool about it as well. I could see, it's like, this is good. It's expensive. They put money behind that.
They backed it.
And
but that was the thing that I was thinking before, because I went to a predominantly Polynesian high school.
Yeah.
And back in the 90s,
yeah,
they heavily related to Black American culture.
yeah,
And even though I'm just a fraction,
Yeah.
I still got annoyed by that.
Yeah,
I was like, would you stop it? We're not.
yeah.
Can you?
Yeah,
And then to see over the last 10 years, even 20 years, Polynesians being Polynesian,
Yeah.
Kiwis being Kiwis.
Yeah.
I actually got emotional about it. I did. I genuinely
Yeah.
got emotional about that, and it's cool. And they, poly clubs are bigger now, and all that. It's brilliant.
yeah.
I love it.
It's things that I think it's definitely as a white guy take for granted that I can go and buy action figures.
Yeah.
I would like to say look like me, but you know what I mean. Well, white action figures, but it's like, and then you go into, now you go into the toy section of Farmers, and there's the Maui action figures, and there's and apparently they keep selling out South Auckland constantly.
Yeah.
It's
Are you saying that you're glad to see an action figure that looks like you based on The Rock?
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying? Yeah,
that's
totally.
right.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought. As soon as I
Yeah.
saw it, I thought, right.
So they got my body shape.
They nailed
Finally.
it.
Yeah.
Nailed it. So where to now for you guys?
We're just starting to dabble in games. That's a big game making.
That's
We
lucrative.
have our first couple of games in production.
Yep.
One of them's a New Zealand on Air funded game for the Barefoot Bandits. So that's kind of us.
What platform?
At the moment, it'll be like iPad, and
More of an app
PC.
thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's PC. Will be a multiplayer, like a water bomb battle game where
Yep.
our idea was getting kids playing together again.
Yep.
When we were kids, you get around the Mega Drive,
Yeah.
and the neighborhood kids are all around, and you're all having a go. That's kind of disappeared. It's all become very solitary. So we're like, should we let's make up a game that almost needs a couple of kids in the room to play and be competitive. And from there we're developing a couple of our own independent games, and then we are also looking at movies. Movies is kind of the next big step.
I was going to ask about that. Yep.
Yeah. Now that we know we can make we're making 10 episodes of the Barefoot Bandits in a year,
Yeah.
with a team of 15. That's massive.
How long's each ep?
22, so a commercial half
That's
hour.
half hour, yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty big. That was a very fast turnaround
Yeah.
for such a small team. And now on our new show that we're making for Channel 10 in Australia, it's 52 11-minuters, and we're doing that in a year as well with 50 people.
Alongside Barefoot Bandits.
No, Barefoot Bandits isn't happening at the moment. I'm hoping third season will happen.
Yep.
But yeah, so it's all just been, all signs point to we can produce a movie, no sweat.
Yeah.
And now New Zealand seems to be happy to focus a little more on family content.
Yep.
Again, back to Boy changed things a little, and then Hunt for the Wilder People changed things massively. Because before that, we had pitched animated ideas, and the feedback we got was probably want to keep it more art house if you're going to do animation.
Right.
A little more like, I don't know if you heard of the film Triplets of Belleville.
Oh, I love that film.
Yeah, great film. Not us at all.
No.
That's not something.
Doesn't
that
make
would-
any sense. I just liked it.
I
like
don't
the
know
music.
how you write that, but so we're like shit, and then which always seems strange to us because we're like, well, look at family films. They sell 4 tickets rather than 2 at a time. You got mum, dad, and kids rather than just mum, dad going to movies. So that was our theory, and it kind of got swatted away.
Yeah.
And now that's changed because families went in droves to see the Hunt for the Wilder People.
Yeah.
And I think they realised, oh shit, we can, that's a lot of bums on seats.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hoping, there's a couple of animated films in the works here. But yeah, we want to make that big breakthrough animated film from New Zealand. So hopefully, we kind of just want to do everything. We want to do everything cool.
Would you ever do live action?
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to do a mix of both.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of ideas that would require.
So the Mary
both.
Poppins type thing?
Yeah. We've had ideas floating around that have be live action leads with animated sidekicks and stuff like that. But yeah, live action, absolutely. I'm a big horror fan.
Yep.
I would love to make a full blown horror, probably more in the vein of a horror comedy, like airing on like American Werewolf in London or something like that. You know, something that when you're a kid seems like a full blown horror, and then you see as an adult and go, "Oh, it was also funny."
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I felt like with Ghostbusters, when I watched Ghostbusters when I was a kid, it was frightening.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
the librarian coming at you, it was freaky. And I watch it now, and I was like, "This is possibly the funniest movie I've ever seen." I still think it's the best comedy.
And I love having kids. That's what I love. I love showing them those things and seeing them have the same reactions I had.
Yeah.
So for my son, it was a horror.
Yeah.
He was watching the scariest horror. Mum and Dad let me watch a horror.
Yeah.
And now, you know, I'm watching it and I'm laughing at Bill Murray the whole way through.
He's so good.
Oh, he's the man.
So good. Quick bit of water. So you're going to get the call up for Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
I'm available.
You're available. I'm here. Hey, look, listen, guys. Sorry. Had a call. Disney.
Yeah, that was a weird one, right?
Yeah, that's strange. And then there was the whole... I get it that, you know, what he said was stupid.
Absolutely.
And what he said wasn't terribly funny, but it just makes him a bad joke teller, not a bad person.
100%.
You know, he's just a dumbass.
If we can't tell the difference, it's a dangerous precedent we're setting.
Exactly.
Where we're everybody, the most active social justice warrior, there's things everybody's got that could be misconstrued, that can be twisted, that can be, or that just might straight up be. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
All my mates and stuff, when that happened, we were just like, not saying that we're on that level, but all of us just stopped and thought, what have we got in line? What?
I think,
you know,
absolutely.
Especially for someone in your position, you know.
Yeah. I've always been very. I've thought about that a lot whenever I've gone to say something, like try to make a joke. I'm a little more. I make children's television like this. This could bite me in the ass. I've always thought about that before. Yeah, we're living in this time now where everything comes under scrutiny. But I don't know if there hadn't been. We've seen that he went through a process. Yeah, once. 10 years ago, whatever it was. Yeah. And there was apologies and there was, and there was regret and it's like, it's done. As far as I'm concerned. How many times, nobody was directly affected, I hope not. I hope he did. but
I doubt it.
I doubt it. And then again, some of it completely out of context. When you look deeper, it was like, oh, okay, he was trolling somebody. Yeah. Those bits
they were all replies to someone else's something else. Yeah. Yeah, it was weird.
But it's just it's like, that's the one you picked? Yeah. That's the line in the sand you drew on him? Yeah. Because...
He's possibly one of from what I hear, he's one of the most loved humans in Hollywood. Yeah.
Who has admitted his flaws...
A long time ago.
And... that's what everybody says, that he's not that type of person anymore.
Yeah, It almost feels like you're going to go into a meeting at Disney or something and they're going to sit you down at the table and say, anything you want to tell us?
Sure, punishment for a bad joke. That's me not laughing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
But I don't know. People like to pretend that everybody's serious.
Yeah.
No, he was serious. He wasn't joking.
That's what he meant. Black, white, there's no greys here.
No.
So. But creatively... Yeah, it's hard when that sort of thing happens. Like even I find in the small amount of creative stuff that I still do, it's it's hard not to think about that. It's hard not to think, oh, am I going to do something or write something or
100%. Yeah, I don't. All I can do is be me.
Be you.
And if it bites me in the ass, then it does. But I hope people are sensible enough to know that I'm a good person.
Yeah. You're a good man. You're a good man. You're doing well. Well, thank you very much.
Awesome. That was great, man.
For joining me on the table in my boudoir.
My pleasure.
And having a yarn. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to take a lot away from this.
I hope so.
And I would definitely like to have you back in a year.
Yeah.
If you're still going or if this is still going.
Yep.
Hopefully they both are.
Yep. One of my tweets might have put me in jail.
Sweet. I'll come to you. Boom. Here we are in Perimeter.
See, now that is probably going to get me. Someone's going to be like, well, what has he said?
Yeah.
Go search his Twitter.
There was a moment there I'm thinking back on this whole interview going, what? Oh, how many times did I say fuck? Shit. No. Awesome. Thank you, bro.
Cool.
That was very, very good.
Thanks,
Thank you,
man.
Cheers.